And away from that, petroleum politics have been an increasingly important aspect of diplomacy since the rise of the petroleum industry in the early 20th century. As competition continues for a vital resource, the strategic calculations of major and minor countries alike place prominent emphasis on the pumping, refining, transport, sale and use of petroleum products. Our correspondent Faith Oladimeji, who spoke with some analysts, has more on the report.
Petroleum politics have been an increasing important aspect of diplomacy since the rise of the petroleum industry in the Middle East in the early 20th century. As competition continues for a vital resource, the strategic calculations of major and minor countries alike places prominent emphasis on the pumping, refining, transport, sales, and use of petroleum products. Analysts who voice their opinions about the major challenges facing oil industry today have this to say.
When you are talking about oil industry, we have various challenges. Number one, before now, I've joined this business about 30 years ago. I am independent marketers. We have different marketers. We have independent marketers, we have major marketers, and we have depot owners. I am independent marketers that known as Ipman. We have our own depot in every location. Like I am marketer in Ondo. We have our depot in Ore, and that depot work last about 15 years ago that we were able to load a liter there about 15 years ago. Presently, we could not be able to load there. We have to go to Lagos to load, and even that loading, at times we load once in a while because they don't give us allocation.
The major challenges facing the oil industry, as far as I'm concerned, I will look at it. One, the supply of crude oil. You understand? There's this dispute in the supply of crude oil. Like, let's take, for example, Dangote now. The other time, he was into this oil, and he was planning to have a kind of refinery that could take care of the scarcity of fuel in Nigeria. But he complained of inadequate crude supply. So that could be one of the major reasons. Then the other one could be the volatility in the price of oil. Then vandalism too. The issue of people vandalizing the pipeline is equally a big challenge to the country oil sector.
However, oil and gas companies often operate in a challenging and financial risk environment, such as high cost and fluctuating energy prices, together with safety concerns and other ongoing factors have the potential to impact a company's bottom lines. The further mentioned how political instability and conflict can affect oil markets.
We have different people in our politics. Even presently, we have APC, we have PDP, we have every other party. But to me, I cannot say precisely on how politics affect our oil or what do you call it, all these
Oil
markets. I can't say precisely because even those people that were in PDP formerly, all of them are in APC now. So how are we going to say that it's even politics? But the case of oil or whatever is petrol, whatever is diesel, gas and every other thing is about Nigerians generally. You know, because whatever we are going to buy today is going to be import to Nigeria. We are the owner. We do have crude oil in Nigeria. Why can't we have our own refinery that will be producing? You will not be able to add freight. You will not be able to add logistic. You will not be able to add any other expenses to it.
There's politics everywhere. And that is one of the major problems that Nigeria is facing. Just as I mentioned the other time, that Dangote, I think I think he was having the intention. I wouldn't know, but I'm not his mind. But I thought he was having an intention to make fuel available to the citizens so that Ali can get fuel at a reasonable and considerable price. But the politics into it, I wouldn't know. Maybe the government is trying to sabotage his effort, or maybe he's planning to monopolize it. So I don't know. So government politics has actually played down.
Meanwhile, the economy has been substantially unstable, a consequence of the heavy dependency on oil revenue and the volatility in its prices. The oil boom of the 1970s led to the neglect of the non-oil tax revenue, expansion of the public sector, and deterioration in financial discipline and accountability. Meanwhile, according to a chief in Ondo Kingdom, he said the NNPC were not given enough revenue, and further stated that some petrol stations sell their fuel to other companies at higher rates.
NNPC, they are the one regulating oil sector in Nigeria. And we have different departments there. We have DPR, we have sales department, we have every other, if we have NNPC retail, you know, they are the one regulating the policy. But either we like it or not, they are the major this thing when it comes to the issue of oil in Nigeria. But to me, I don't know much about them. But the allocation being given to IPMAN by them is not enough.
I wouldn't know. The people at the NNPC, my concern first is, why is our refinery not even working? You understand? Why? Because if our refineries are working, even if not at full capacity, if they are working at certain capacity, they should be able to take care of the country, of the people in the country. But the government has not come up with any policy or project to revive or revamp the refineries. They kept on importing oil. I start wondering, we are the producers of the crude oil. We have refineries that should be making use of the crude oil to get us refined petroleum. But the government will prefer exporting to other countries, then getting the refined product from the other country back to the base where it is produced. So there's no transparency, sincerely.
Faith Oladimeji reporting for KAFTAN TV News.